so we can't make it here. We perform a lot. Even the people in Camden don't even really know who we are, but people all over the world, different celebrities, we've been in almost every major hotel, water we perform with, Jesse Jackson. I mean, you name it. The founder of Kwanzaa comes to our home. I mean, all the leaders you can think of, my wife and I have been with. They just can't believe that we can't get no real support in this city. But I just want to answer your questions. I don't want to jump into other conversations.
No, it's good. That leads me into, so you said you started off in Philadelphia with a karate school, and how did you decide to establish the Universal African Dance and Drum Ensemble?
Well, I guess my wife, see, I'm a historian because I dictate everything. I'm a computer guy. I'm computer literate, I gotta work so much stuff, Zoom and everything. But my karate instructor, Grandmaster Mir Alfred Dennis, Alpha 4X, he was a famous guy in the Nation of Islam. He used to guard Malcolm X, Elijah Muhammad, Farrakhan, all them, and Imam Wadi Muhammad, all them great leaders. And he was our karate teacher in Philadelphia. And he told me, well, since you're in Camden, won't you start a school in Camden? I said, yeah, that would be neat like that. Maybe they get to know us, Yeah. And he told me that in 1981. So me and this friend of mine, close friend named Cornelius Lister, we said, well, let's look for some properties. And we found this property on Mountain Avenue in 1983, a little small storefront. And it was $3,500, and we paid the $3,500, and we started a little karate program. And first we started the African Dance Drum Ensemble because my wife was performing for Arthur Hall in Philadelphia at that time, and Kofi Asante, Shikuyu. So we said, well, we might as well start an African Dance Drum Ensemble first. So we started that, but not too many people joined. So then we said, well, let's do the karate program. It was like within a week or two afterwards. And when we started that, we had so many people join the karate program. And that just grew so fast. But then we moved the karate students into the African Dance and Drum Ensemble. So from February 1984, we've been nonstop. Never stopped, never closed the school down until we came up with COVID-19. When COVID kicked in, it caused us to close the center because it's too small. And then we had buildings and couldn't get the support of the city. So that's how that happened.
Why do you think that karate as a art form was so popular initially? It sounds like it was in Philly and in Camden.
The reason is because the martial arts is the ultimate. And I'm a historian. I do a lot of study, talk to a lot of professors. I had the education. My wife, we had 4 children. 3 of them got master's degrees, and one runs our whitest hair salon down in Lindenwood, New Jersey. She has the first African-American hair salon in school in history of New Jersey. Yeah, operating. No, maybe you can do an interview with her one day because it's very interesting because she made history, as far as having the first African-American owned school in the state of New Jersey.
And a black female.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yes, definitely. We have to document that.
Right. Mm-hmm. So, my wife and I, we've been really lucky to have 4 children like that. But me, I'm a self-proclaimed historian and deal with psychotherapy and advice, teaching a lot of young people. But the martial arts is the ultimate discipline program. There's no program that can develop a child in the discipline, body, mind, and spirit simultaneously like the martial arts. And our form of karate was so dynamic that we end up in the 6 Hall of Fame. The same Hall of Fame, Bruce Lee, all the famous movie stars. I'm in all them Hall of Fames because in Camden we developed the #1 school of champions in the United States of America. Mm-hmm. But I just believe that karate, our children need the discipline. And the African dance drummer sound represents the love. If you don't know yourself, you can't love yourself. So that formula that my wife and I came up with is what we believe is a solution to stopping the violence, the solution to love and respecting one another in all cultures and all people.
How did you decide to focus on African for you're talking about a little bit, but I just want you to expand a little bit on how did you decide to focus on African performance versus other ethnic cultural forms of a performance?
Oh, that's my wife's part there.
Well, because I started dancing in junior high school, and I became interested in it. And then once I completed my junior high, I went to high school, and I was told about Arthur Hall on Germantown Avenue in Philadelphia. So I went there and I did a tryout and everything, and they accepted me. So then I just continued to dance with them until Kofi Asante broke off from Arthur Hall and became like a brother sister group to them. So whenever they couldn't do jobs, we would take those jobs that they couldn't do, and we were like their sister group or brother group. And after a while, my husband and I were doing it, and I got so interested in it, I said that we should start our own school. And he said that sounds like a good idea. So I actually came to our karate class and started teaching the dance class. And then, like my husband said, the karate class was so big and it grew so fast that a lot of the people in the karate wanted to actually do the dance. So that's how we created the Universal African Dance and Drum Ensemble. Short term.
Right.
My husband will give you the long term.
Sure. So do you talk a lot about discipline, education, and they seem like those are reoccurring themes. How do you incorporate that into your practice?
Into our practice, we, because we're a family of educators and a family of martial artists and what we call the performing arts, we just believe, and we almost went past the part of belief. We know that the solution to America is love, discipline development with many forms and types of education. And we believe that's just the formula. It is love. If a child's not growing up in a loving family and if they're not in disciplined programs, it's almost impossible for them to be educated. So those that fall through the cracks and end up having certain gifts, which is a very small minority of people that fall through the cracks that never was in a loving family or never had the love of self, but they had a strong mind. There are many of our people fell through that crack and end up going to college, becoming great, professors and educators and inventors and great people, but there's a very small minority of that. But we believe that we can focus on the arts. The arts is the key to where a child their art gives a child the place where they can actually learn and figure out their greatness. And that's what we say our organization is, an organization that gives a young person the opportunity to really witness their own greatness. Because there's so many great children out here, but they don't have no opportunity to witness that. So that's how they end up selling drugs, growing up negative, doing bad things to other people's daughters and children. And it's like a friend of ours named Julius Stenton from Lawnside. He wrote an article on the Union Community Center. And he said, and the article was real plain. He said, you will wonder why would the cities and the state will help organizations like us, since we suffer such a very negative image situation in cities like Camden. And